Even though both major parties, the Democrats and the Republicans, already have their nominee for this year, both President Biden and Donald Trump have already secured enough delegates to where they are their party's nominee this year. But we still have voting taking place, right? We're still having primaries. And this week on the Republican side, they had primaries in Nebraska, West Virginia, and Maryland. And not surprising, since he's the only Republican left in the race, Donald Trump won. What was surprising, however, is the fact that Donald Trump is actually still kind of struggling to win, even though he's the only active candidate on the ballot. Nikki Haley in West Virginia got 12% of the vote. In Maryland, she got 20% of the overall vote, and in Nebraska, she got 18% of the overall vote. Now, last week in the Indiana primary, Nikki Haley also scored 20% of the vote, leaving Donald Trump with 80%. So 1 out of every 5 voters in Indiana last week said, I actually want to go with the woman who's not even running anymore. That's a huge blow to Donald Trump. Similar thing happened in Pennsylvania a few weeks before that. So Donald Trump is struggling with about 1 in 5 Republican voters who would rather vote for a zombie candidate that dropped out months ago than vote for him. But in the Indiana primary last week, everybody said, well, it's because they have the open primary. Anybody can go in, even if you're a Democrat, and vote on the Republican side. So obviously that's what skewed it for Nikki Haley, right? Therefore, those results cannot be repeated in states with closed primaries. And then this week showed that those results were replicated in states with closed primaries. You cannot say that Democrats changed this one. You can't say that those darn lefties showed up to vote for Nikki Haley to show Donald Trump he's an idiot. Nope. These were all Republicans, folks. And 1 out of 5 of them said, I would rather go with the person not running for office than Donald Trump. So let me put this in a little bit better perspective, right? I'll break it down easy to understand here. Let's say you have a room of 100 people. And you stand up at the front of the room and say, hey, everybody, I'm going to get lunch for everybody here. You have 2 choices. The choices are McDonald's or Pizza Hut. Now, unfortunately, Pizza Hut actually closed down and the building burned down. So Pizza Hut doesn't exist anymore. So you can't have Pizza Hut. Also, we took a vote earlier behind the scenes and everybody already voted for McDonald's. So we're going to have McDonald's, but I'm going to hold this vote. So let me know if you want McDonald's or if you want Pizza Hut, which you can't have. Or you can just not vote. And 20 people in that room will still say, I hate McDonald's so much, I'm going to vote for the thing I can't even have. I'm going to vote for Pizza Hut. Knowing I can't have it. Also knowing that I don't have to vote. But I'm still gonna vote because I dislike the other options so much. That is what's happening to Donald Trump in these primaries. Now think about that for a minute, because I think it's the fact that these people are showing up to vote against him that tells us everything. Because they already know Trump's the nominee. So they know that their protest vote for Nikki Haley will not change anything. So if you're not going to vote for Donald Trump, why show up, right? Like, that's the thing that I wish all the reports talking about it would mention. Because these people are going out of their way to show up and vote in an election that doesn't matter, to vote for a candidate that doesn't exist, just to stick it to that guy. That is a level of pettiness that I couldn't even bring myself to do. And I'm a pretty petty guy sometimes. But that's what these Republicans are doing. And if you think that that bodes well for Donald Trump in November, then you are kidding yourself. If you've got 1 in 5 members of your party who would rather vote for the zombie candidate than vote for you, you're in significant trouble. So, as per usual, I don't buy into the polls that say, oh, Trump's going to run away with this thing. He's beaten Biden again in this poll, and this poll, and this poll. Really? The dude is barely winning a primary where he's the only candidate. You look at that. You look at the real world results, not what these pollsters are telling you. Look at the real world results and tell me things are going well for Donald Trump. And if you do that, you're lying to me and you're lying to yourself, because they're not. Hey everybody, I don't know if you've noticed this, but we are closing in on a pretty major milestone here at Fair and Balanced as we approach 500,000 subscribers. But we're not there yet, and we definitely need your support. So if you're not already, please do subscribe to the channel, and don't forget, like and comment on the videos and share them as widely as possible.